G'day viewers, Tim Hawkins here from GT-VTV. I'm in the studio here tonight with a couple of the boys from the band Loaded Billy. I've got Willie and Jim. We're going to have a chat to them tonight about the new album they're recording here. How's it going, fellas?
Doing very well, my friend. How are you?
Yeah, good. So this is it, eh? Pretty nice looking studio you got here, guys.
Yes,
This is, yeah?
It's look, it's hard to come to practice and go to the studio.
I bet, yeah. It'd be harder to go home at night, I'd imagine.
The neighbours love it.
Yeah, so it's all soundproof and everything. I don't hear anything, do I?
Yeah. Nah, that's right. It's sort of.
Except the bass player.
Yeah, you might get a little bit of kick drum leakage sometimes, you know.
Yeah, right.
But it actually is.
It's pretty good.
It's not floating floor and stuff like that, is it?
No.
Yeah, actually.
In there?
Yeah, they're floating slabs.
Oh, okay.
It's a room inside a room, so I'm an old school sound engineer, so.
That's good.
I built it slowly, because I built it in 2 hours. Built a live room that we rehearse in. Yeah. And then we built this room.
Oh, excellent.
It's good.
So how's the album going? Have you got a name for the album yet? Is it just Loaded Billy? Or
No, we haven't got a name.
I haven't got a name yet.
Right, okay. How far into recordings are you guys?
Good halfway, 3/4 of the way. We just got to do lead guitar, vocals and some acoustic guitar.
Okay.
All the main beds are down, drums, bass, all the hard bits, capturing that essence of what the song's all about.
Yep.
And we've recorded them live. It hasn't been something that we've sort of sat there and gone, multi-track. No. We've done it in one big piece and tried to make sure that we've really captured the essence of the songs and
just as a bed, and then you add stuff to that later, or
basically, so it's old school recording. So everybody plays live in the room through isolation. Yeah. And then we keep the drum tracks.
Right.
Make sure we're happy with those. Then we redo bass tracks. Rhythm guitar tracks. Right. All done separately. We're a 3-piece band, and then Jim plays acoustic. So we sort of got the 2 guitars in the band. I know we're heavy, but we still use a lot of acoustic guitar. Yep. So, but the rhythm tracks so poor old Trevor had to sort of do a bit of rethinking and lay all the rhythm tracks down.
Right, okay.
Which is done, and then same thing then, like old school, so then we'll redo the vocals over the top, and then we'll do the acoustic guitar and all the overdubs.
Nice, okay.
And then mix it, we're lucky so it's all recorded analog, tracked analog. Right. And then it'll be mixed sort of analog and digital. So
okay, that's good. Yeah, that's good. So
11 tracks, so a fair bit of work.
That's a lot of work, yeah. How long have you guys been together? How long have you been working as a band?
A bit over 12 months now. As far as I've been a part of the band.
How long?
A bit over 12 months.
12 months, alright.
So it's interesting how that turned out. I got invited to come around here to a mutual friend of a friend said, you should go around, meet this guy Willie. He has a studio, you can cut your solo album. It's doing a bit of acoustic stuff, and I suppose I was not so much struggling to find a bit of work, but I was looking for a better class of work. She said, it'll help you get a really good demo, go out there and pump it to the venues and so forth. And came in and spent, 4 or 5 hours here, doing 3 or 4 songs, and at the end of it I got an invite. You need to come and sing for our band.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Just like that?
Just like
well,
sort of.
Seriously,
come test it out.
Yeah. We've had more singers than Spinal Tap than drums.
I love it.
And they're all genuine stories. None of them self-imploded.
7?
Well, you're number 7.
Yeah, no, number 7.
But what it was, we actually started the project, the guitarist and myself, started the project 10 years ago. Right. And just as a writing project, I'd come back from Sydney, I'd had a big break from music for a while, and Trevor and I, funnily enough, we used to play when we were teens, so we just sort of got together, started jamming out and doing a lot of budgie and Aussie and Hendrix actually, just for a bit of a laugh. And then we started writing, and then a guy came on board as a vocalist, a guy I knew, and then we got a bass player, and sort of about a band. and then the singer, he ended up going back to Scotland.
Right.
So then the next guy that came in, he ended up going back to Melbourne. The next guy that came in, he ended up going back to New Zealand.
Right.
We're losing them, you know,
Okay.
left, right and centre here. Which is why the 10-year period, because in between singers and that, we had another project called Stone Crow. And we used to just perform Aussie, Budgie and Whitesnake songs.
Right, yep.
And again, just for a laugh, because we could. So, so in between that, we were sort of auditioning singers and bringing singers in. But the hardest thing is really around, because it's an original project, you've got to find people that you can write well with.
Yep.
And usually push comes to shove around when you get to the writing stage.
Yeah.
So you can bring someone in and they'll emulate what's there and sing it fine, you know, and play the guitar. But when you start to write with them, you might find that you're on different wavelengths.
Yeah.
So,
sure.
so it didn't really work out. And then what happened with Jim was we decided that we were just going to do the album and then bring guest vocalists in.
Right, okay.
And so Jim turned into one of those guest vocalists. Which is now a member, because I was mixing his stuff and I thought, Jesus, guy can sing alright, you know, like, he might sort of suit what we do. And so we got him in to do some pre-production, because we were just going to do the recording. And sort of did the pre-production, got Jim to learn the songs and get to know them, and play guitar, and then he started contributing a bit, and it was sort of working out really well. And then we did the test. Everybody's got to have a test before you get in.
Yeah.
So I had this part 3 of a song written that we could never ever get done, and it's a song called Diablo, and sort of a bit of a spaghetti western type song.
Okay.
So quite an interesting song.
Epic. It's
I like the sound of it.
It's
already.
huge, man.
Yeah,
like,
I
it's
the
just
sound of
like
that
it
sort
in.
of thing.
Okay, so Loaded Billy don't do anything by halves. Most of the songs do not sit under like 6.5 minutes. They're usually 2-part.
Or 3-part. Yeah.
3-part.
Yeah, right. Okay.
They
great fun.
Yeah, they sort of. Well, it was interesting. So what we did was, I spoke to Trevor and said, "Oh, let's just give it to Jim. I'll give him the lyric, and got the melody going. Jim, play some spaghetti western guitar for us, will you? You know, like at the end of the song." Well, in 15 minutes we had that song finished.
Wow.
So, so Jim just fitted in like a glove, sort of
Yeah,
musically and vocally,
Yeah.
and so that cemented the, well, you better
What's
join
meant
the
to
band.
be, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So
You were supposed to come here that day.
I have no doubt.
It was your destiny.
I have no doubt.
Yeah.
And looking back, I wouldn't be anywhere
Yeah,
else.
glad you did.
Yeah.
So obviously you guys are influenced by like Sabbath and Budgie. You said Budgie.
Hugely Budgie.
love
Budgie,
it, yeah.
Ozzy Osbourne.
yeah, Trevor and I grew up on Budgie in the days when you had to buy the vinyl in a plastic sheath and take it home and unseal it. And
I think the gag was when you met them that you're probably the only person on the planet that's actually been playing Budgie as long as Budgie have.
that's right.
It's funny. I did the lighting on the Budgie tour back in 2010 when they came to Australia.
First time.
Oh,
Was
Yeah, that was
time?
the first
That
time
was the
because
first
they've
time.
been back since, but I didn't get
Yeah.
along. But yeah, the first time, yeah, that was.
Well,
that
that's
was
the first
good fun.
time we saw them. You know,
Yeah,
after all
yeah,
those
same.
years.
Yeah, that's it.
Man,
I mean,
look,
hey, you know, I'd heard that they were playing and I went, oh, I had no money, you know, and I'm thinking, how am I going to get to see Budgie? And then I found out a mate of mine's band was supporting, so I rang him up. I said, dude, name on the door, please.
What's it, Ox?
Yeah, that's the one.
Ox,
Stone
Ox.
Stone Ox,
Stone
yeah.
Ox.
They were supporting, and I rang up Jason, the drummer, and said, dude, name on the door, please. He goes, mate,
Yeah.
they nearly want us to pay to get in.
No, you put my name on the door.
And he's like, I can't do it. And I'm sitting there that day thinking, Budgie's going on in 4 hours time. I'm not going to see him. 2 hours from the show, I got a call. We need someone to do lighting. I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding. So I was in there doing that. So that was great. Yeah, and got the tour. So that
They
was
only
fun.
came out to Australia twice in 35
Yeah,
years.
yeah. Lovely blokes too. Really good guys. Like gems.
Got to meet
so
them all.
humble.
Yeah, very approachable.
Yeah.
And look, Craig Goldie definitely fit. What was his name? Tony Burgess.
Yeah, that's right.
Burke.
Yeah.
Look, as a guitarist, man, what a monster.
He's awesome. Yeah.
Also,
He's like 20 years younger than the other guys.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah. So weird.
Yeah. Guy. Yeah. So so they're your influences. Oh, that's good. What would you just mostly Budgie, you reckon, or is?
Well,
Do you guys sound like Budgie when
No,
you? No.
I don't think so.
no, we've been performing Budgie live in our sets, in our original sets since we started. So we actually do 7 Budgie songs.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And so sometimes when we do the commercial venues, we might do 2 sets. That's one of the reasons we started putting some covers in, just to
Yep.
sort of spread it out a bit. No one actually comes up and goes, "Oh, you sound like Budgie."
Right.
But
Okay.
the amazing thing is, and the reason we kept doing more Budgie is every time we played, there were people in that audience that knew Budgie.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
It's astounding how many people know him. You know, like, and I've even seen people sing along with the lyric. You know,
Yeah.
wow, man. You
Yeah.
know, so we just sort of kept doing it because we just loved it. But I think you can hear those influences in your songs because you grow up on that stuff.
Yeah,
You know? At the end of
sure.
the day, it's not like we're trying to be Budgie, but probably the arrangements more so, sort of the breakdowns and that we tend to do the stoner rock thing like they do.
Yeah.
Plus use the acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
And
Of course.
that came
yeah.
about from the very first guy that started playing with us. You know, like he was just playing along acoustic guitar and we're doing some songs and going, well, it's a great sound, you know, because you don't have 2 electric guitars fighting.
Yeah.
It adds a lot of dynamics to the music,
does.
and
Yeah, it gives it a great quality,
Yeah, it
you know.
does.
So, you know, sort of, and I suppose Aussie, you know, more the Randy Rhoads,
Right,
Jackie
that
Lee
era,
period.
Yeah.
You know, that style of stuff. Again, that probably fits in where we're at in our heads around the way we write music, you know. So, but interestingly, no one comes along and goes, "Oh, you sound like this," or "You sound like this."
Well, that's good.
Or 10 people go, "You sound like that."
Yeah.
You know,
That's good.
Yeah,
At
it's
least
probably
you-
the best compliment that we get most often is you guys really compliment each other.
Well, that's really good. Yeah.
Can't really find any standout in the band that goes, okay, holy shit, you know, that drummer is brilliant, or that guitarist is
Well, he
brilliant,
is.
or the
Yeah.
okay, he might be.
He
Yeah,
is.
but that's not what I meant.
Notice the guitar player was the next one. He says, "Well, he thought he should put you first." But he
Yeah,
wanted to say
well,
that he stuttered. He
Wait
stumbled.
till you hear our guitarist.
You stumbled. You said that guy says the drummer. You were going to say guitarist.
No,
first.
and he's a shit hot guitarist. We've got a shit hot drummer. We've got a tight as fish's ass bass player that just sync together so well. That people come up to us and they go, you know, look, even people that have, I suppose I'm coming on a little bit later on in the scene, so there's a lot of people that have locally seen this band before that are coming up to me and going, "You're the right singer for this band."
Wow, that's good. Yeah.
It's almost as though this is right. This is
Meant
where
to be,
this
yeah.
is where it should have been from day dot, and I can't help but feel as though my ears tell me the same thing.
Yeah.
I feel it's
Another
right.
interesting fact about this band is we lost our bass player. Well, I think we had a couple of bass players that we lost, and we were doing a show just locally at the Indian Hotel, and we had a picture in the paper, and our old bass player that we used to play with years ago rocked up at the gig because he saw our picture. So, his name's Gary. We call him Bulldog. It's a long story. But,
Right.
Bulldog, what are you doing? He's playing trumpet in a brass band, drums in a country band, you know, something in a church band. Oh, Jesus, you need to come on down. So the bass player, guitarist, and myself, we all played together when we were young lads in the late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah.
And here we are playing again. Isn't that amazing?
It's
You know,
incredible, isn't it?
I always stayed in contact with the guitarist. He went to Canada when I was in Sydney, and the Bulldogs just remained here in Adelaide. And
Yeah.
you sort of lose touch a bit, and then just sort of how it all came back.
Find
you
your
know?
way back to each
Yeah.
other for
Yeah,
no
absolutely.
apparent reason, but it works.
That's right, yeah. And it does, you know, like sort of, and again, it all fits like a glove, you know, so,
Yeah, right.
so yeah.
Well, that's good.
Never
So
been
you're the
happier.
guitar player. You're the guitar player?
So I play acoustic guitar and I sing,
Right.
so lead singer.
Right, okay.
However, look, up until recently, we've sort of tried to keep it simple, not overcomplicate things, just put things in the right place. So I've mainly been playing acoustic.
Right.
I've got
So who's laying the electric tracks of guitar down on?
guy named Trevor. You're going to meet Trevor in a minute.
Okay.
He is.
He's back in there, I think.
Yeah, he's back in the dungeon where we like to keep him.
He's a bit shy.
Him and the bulldog. Definitely like to keep him in the dungeon.
Right.
He's
Okay.
a couple of God's special creatures that are some of the best musos I've ever met. These guys practice
Hours a day.
like just.
That's what we tell
Steve
him.
I style.
Well,
14 hours a day.
We tell him that.
They live, they breathe it.
So you guys are gigging, are you? Are you gigging?
Yeah, look, definitely. We're trying to pick and choose the gigs that we do. For obvious reasons.
Yeah.
We want to make impact when we do gigs.
Uh-huh.
We were lucky enough late last year early this year to do a show with Pat Smith and 11. He took us on board down at the Emu, let us open for one of his shows, and look, I think it was really, really well received.
Right.
As well as we just did a show with South Coast Raw. I don't know if you've ever heard of South Coast Raw, but it's I suppose a continuation of Mid Coast Meltdown, which happened back in the early 90s down at Port Nalunga Football Club.
Yep, right.
Having great bands like Bearded Clams, West Pope, Snorkel.
Yeah. Free Moving Curtis. Laughing
Clowns of Decadence.
Clowns of
Yeah,
Decadence.
the Clowns.
Great, man. I love those guys.
Man, I see. That's where I grew up. Southern boy.
Blue Experience, probably playing.
Well, funny enough, I actually used to play in a band with Simon.
Well, Simon's
Hartley.
actually my best mate, man. I've known him for 35 years.
I used to be the lead guitarist
Right,
for the Fugues back in the day.
How funny is that?
So I did 2 EPs with the Fugues and.
Right. Okay. Well, I've got the Fugues EP at home as
But
well.
two metal.
Yeah, I got the metal. Simon
okay.
gave me. You got to have this, man.
Yeah.
Known him for years, mate.
Best fun I've had in ages, man.
Yeah,
Look, Simon has got to be one of the best progressive blues guitarists that I've ever met. Very quickly, loadedbilly.com.au. We do have a couple of live tracks on there.
Okay, we'll put that link up at the end of the at this video as well. We'll put a visible link so you can go to that as well.
Vice versa. All the above.
Good on you. Thank you.
Most welcome.
Yeah.
So the Fugues. The Fugues was one of those interesting stories as well. And played in some great venues, but I suppose for me it was I kept searching. You know, I wanted something more. I wanted something a little bigger and something a bit better. And look, as much as I love Simon and feel what those boys and me we created, wasn't where my heart was at.
No, that's fine, man.
It was very blues.
Goes, you know.
Very blues, stoner rock.
Yeah, that's what he does. Yeah, we'll actually be doing an interview with Simon Hartley in a couple of weeks' time as well, so you can catch that on GT-VTV as well.
Simon is a legend. Look, he is one of God's special creatures without a doubt, and I'd go to hell for him twice on a Sunday.
Yeah,
if he asked me.
He's a top man. Yeah.
Definitely.
So okay, playing live. Back to playing live. Got any memorable gigs? What's something your favourite gig so far, or something that you've done?
Putties was good, wasn't it?
Well, we're old school guys, so we tend to do gigs where we can put the theatre back into the music. It's not really happening a lot these days.
No,
I don't think. So we tend to try and do gigs on our own terms. And we actually own a light show as well, you know, smoke machines and all that, lights and all that. So we'll try to go into a venue where we can do that. We're not at the mercy of bad sound and bad lights and bad everything else.
Yeah.
We do local gigs. It's sort of interesting. We've done gigs all over the place. City gigs, suburban gigs. We've played a lot of commercial venues, so venues that only really put in cover of concept bands.
Right.
And we'll go in as Loaded Billy as original band playing a few covers.
Yeah.
Well, for example, we've done the Emu I think 14 times.
Oh, okay.
So that means
your
bands.
favourite gig.
Yeah. Well,
Southern
band stands on its own
Southern
2
bass.
feet, I suppose. And So we try and do those gigs, but we do local gig here at the Port Noarlunga RSL as well. And we'll do like a Sunday gig there. See, it's interesting with crowds these days. Crowds don't travel anymore because of drink driving. Our crowd doesn't mind a drink or three. They're really well behaved, but they spend a lot of money at the bar. So they'll try and go local. So it's interesting if you play 3 kilometres down the road, half that crowd won't come.
Right. Okay.
So our next gig is at a new venue. I don't know about you. Do you know about the Wreckers live at Goolwa? It's a new venue.
No.
So this is our new gig, new venue?
Well, yeah. I think it kicks off officially this weekend.
Right.
We're there in July. It's an old shed being converted into a proper venue.
Yep.
It's a bit like a cross between a biker's den and a Mansell Room in King's Cross.
Right, okay.
Great venue.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah.
You mentioned King's Cross before, so you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know, it's got a lot of black in there, a lot of dark, you know. So they've been building it and spending quite a bit of money. And what they want to do is cater for not so much an older crowd, but more old school music, as opposed to young band music. You know? So we're there on July the 7th. Actually.
Right, okay.
So, and then Trevor, our guitarist, goes away for a while, and what we'll do is we'll finish up the album when he's away.
Right.
And then
Heading off to Canada or something, isn't it?
Yeah, going to Canada. And then we'll start booking dates in to promote the album. You know. But
Okay, cool.
unfortunately,
Well, make sure you give us all those dates and we'll do our best
Yeah.
to promote it for you.
Yeah,
on
absolutely.
Thank you, brother.
GT-VTV. Thanks a lot for coming, or for letting us come here tonight, guys. We're going to do, the guys are actually going to play in a while, so we'll stop the cameras and we'll get a bit of recording of them having a bit of a jam in their studio there in a while for you to have a look at. And that's about it from me. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell. Any comments, leave them in the comments box below. Give us a like and check all the links at the end of the video for these guys. And thanks very much, guys.
Hey, thanks, Tim.
thank you.
No worries at all.
Appreciate
It's a
it, mate.
pleasure. Thank you.
Pleasure, brother.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
See you next time.